Okay, so this is just going to be a little bit more on slope-intercept form, but this time we're given a little bit different information. So we are going to be given the slope and a point. So the last practice we did, we were given the slope, and the specific point we were given was our y-intercept. This time we're just given a random point. So I've listed out the steps here for your reference. So the first thing we want to do is, or need to know, is that we're writing this in y equals mx plus b. So I'm writing this in y equals mx plus b. So I need m and I need b. So I'm going to write out here m with a space and b with a space. So what I know right now is that my m, or my slope, is -2. So I already know that m is -2. What I don't know is b. So the first step is you're going to plug in the slope m, and you're going to plug in the point, which represents x and y, to y equals mx plus b. So while I don't have the y-intercept, I do have a point here that stands for x and y. So I'm going to take my slope and my x and my y, and I'm going to plug those three things in, and what I'm going to then solve for is b. So my y is -4 right here in this order pair. My y is -4, so I'm going to replace y with -4 equals m, my slope, that's this, is -2. X, I'm going to plug in, and I'm going to put it in parentheses, my x, which is 1, plus b. And now I'm going to solve. So to solve, I first multiply right here. If you need to draw the line through the equal sign, please do that. So I'm going to have -4 left on the left side. Nothing, I didn't do anything over there. -2 times 1 is -2 plus b. And then the last step, I'm trying to get b by itself, is I need this -2 to go to the other side. So I do the opposite operation. So the opposite of -2 would be to add 2. So I'm going to add 2. If I add 2 to one side, I have to add 2 to the other side. So -4 plus 2 is just -2 equals b. So now I have a y-intercept of -2. So I solved for b. That was step 2. Step 3, write your equation in y equals mx plus b with the m plugged in. That was given to us, and the y-intercept that we found. So our equation in y equals mx plus b is going to be y equals, our m is -2x plus our b is also -2. So instead of putting plus -2, I just wrote -2. So this is my equation. All right, so we're going to do that again with example 2. So this time we're writing in y equals mx plus b. So again, I was given my m, so this is m. This point represents x and y. So I'm going to write over here m, I already know, is 2/3. What I need to find is b. So I'm going to plug all those pieces into y equals mx plus b. So my y is -8. So I'm going to plug in -8 for y equals m is 2/3 times x is -9 plus b is what I don't know. That's what I'm solving for. So this right here looks scary, right? It's a fraction times a whole number. So if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to suggest you use your calculator, but I think we can all do this. This would be 2 times -9 would be -18. -18 divided by 3 is going to be -6. So I'll show you that in my calculator. So if I just do, let me scoot this over so I can see what I'm doing. 2/3, so control divide, 2/3 times -9. So in parentheses, -9. There we go, -6. So that is going to simplify to -6, which makes it look a lot nicer. So I'm left with -8 equals -6 plus b. All right, we're trying to get b by itself. So I need to add this 6 to get it to the other side. So I add 6 on both sides. So -8 plus 6 is -2 equals b. So our y-intercept happens to be -2 again. That's just coincidence. So -2. So in y equals mx plus b, it's going to be y equals, our m was 2/3, x minus 2. All right, so we're going to take that example actually, and we're going to fill in this table over here to the right. So y equals 2/3 x minus 2. What this is asking you to do is just a lot of different stuff that we're really going to focus on using our calculator for. So I'm going to write this equation over here, y equals 2/3 x minus 2. So we're going to write over here, my equation is y equals 2/3 x minus 2. All right, and so what we're going to do is we are going to just fill in the rest of this information. So we already know from our equation or from our problem that our slope is 2/3. So I'm going to fill that in. Our slope was 2/3. We got that our y-intercept was -2, so that would be 0, -2. Don't know my y-intercept. Okay, but we're going to find that using our calculator. So we're going to find this using our calculator. So I'm going to graph the line y equals 2/3 x minus 2 in my calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to do a new document, add a graph. So remember f of x and y are the same thing. So I'm going to leave that, control tab to get, or not, sorry, control divide to get my fraction bar. I'm going to type in 2/3 x minus 2. So there's the graph of that. We're going to fill in the table. So remember when I type this in as a function, I can get a table by pushing Control T. All right, I want to get some negative numbers also. I don't want just positive numbers. So let's go to, we'll start with -9, -8. So I'm going to fill this in on my table on my paper here. So -9, -8, that's going to be the first point that I write here. -9, -8. I'm going to plot that. So that point is right there, -9, -8. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. I don't want to plot these that are decimals, so I'm going to go to the next one, -6, -6 here. So -6, -6. I'm going to plot that. So there's that. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going in my table. -3, -4. So -1, 2, 3, -1, 2, 3, 4. Just so you know, another way that you could graph this is by using the slope, right? Our slope is 2/3, so I can go up 2/3 to the right 3, positive. So +2, +3, +2, +3 is going to put me right there. The y-intercept is going to be 0, -2. All right, if I do that again, up 2, right, 1, 2, 3, that's going to put me right there. That point is really important. That's going to be my x-intercept. So if I'm looking at my table, just to confirm, there's 0, -2. My next one should be 3, 0. There it is, 3, 0. All right, so from 3, 0, I'm going to go up 2, right, 1, 2, 3. That's going to land a point right there. So if I check on my table, that point should also show up. There it is, 6, 2. Let's get one more. 9, 4 is going to be the last one. So again, up 1, 2, right, 1, 2, 3. There it is. All right, and then we should be able to draw that line also. There it is, all right? Okay, so let's see what else we need to fill in here. We need the x-intercept. So the x-intercept was this point right here that I said was going to be really important. Remember, the x-intercept is where y is 0, so 3, 0. If you're not confident in that, remember from your graph, I'm going to do Control-T to get rid of my table. From my graph, if I trace, menu, trace, graph trace, it starts at the y-intercept. Remember, if I scroll off of it and then come back, the yellow box will pop up and say, hey, this is the y-intercept. So I'm going to scroll towards my x-intercept, which is going to be right there. Hopefully you see that that's 3, 0, but it's going to tell you your 0 or your x-intercept is 3, 0. If you don't see the box, remember, scroll off of it again and come back and we'll say 0. That yellow box is telling you that's your 0. So our 0 here, or our x-intercept, is 3, 0. So I'm going to write that here, 3 comma 0. I'm going to add the word 0 in here. So lots of different questions that they could ask from just one equation. You need to be able to do all of that.